Close your eyes for a moment and imagine this. A golden liquid, thick and glistening, dripping slowly from a wooden spoon. Its taste is sweet, comforting and timeless. It has been called food, medicine and even a gift from heaven. But here's the real question. Could this ancient sweetness be more powerful than we ever imagined? For centuries, civilizations around the world have treasured this golden nectar, from the pharaohs of Egypt who buried it in tombs, to Native American tribes who mixed it into natural remedies, to the sacred scriptures of the Bible, where it's described as a symbol of abundance, blessing and healing. And yet modern science is now catching up with what ancient wisdom always seemed to know. Inside this simple, sticky sweetness lies one of nature's most remarkable medicines. But here's the twist. While it holds healing power, it also carries hidden dangers if misused. And that's what we're going to uncover today. In today's America, where chronic illness, inflammation and stress-related conditions are at an all-time high, many of us are looking for natural solutions. Seniors want energy without stimulants. Families want real immunity boosters. Adults want alternatives to processed sugar that won't wreck their health. And here it is, something that has been right in front of us for thousands of years, something mentioned over 60 times in the Bible, yet also studied in cutting-edge medical journals. Something found in the average kitchen pantry, but also in the toolkits of world-class hospitals for wound care. That's the paradox. It's ancient yet modern, familiar yet mysterious. Over the next chapters, we'll explore the fascinating history of this natural sweetness in ancient cultures and scripture. Its nutritional makeup, what's really inside those golden drops. Science-backed health benefits, from soothing a sore throat to fighting bacteria. How to use it daily, in foods, remedies, skincare, and even home hacks. The right way to consume it. Timing, dosage, and combinations that maximize benefits. Risks and side effects most people don't talk about. Who should avoid it completely, and why? And powerful real-life stories of Americans who rediscovered health through this golden cure. We'll weave together both biblical references and modern research, showing how the past and present come together in one incredible substance. So, grab a cup of tea, settle in, and let's unlock the secrets of one of the world's most beloved natural medicines. Because the story of this golden sweetness isn't just about the past. It is about your health, your family's well-being, and possibly even your future. Before we get into science, nutrients, and modern research, we have to pause and take a step back in time. Because the story of this golden sweetness didn't begin in laboratories or hospitals. It began thousands of years ago, in temples, villages, deserts and fields. Picture this, it's 2400 BC, deep inside the deserts of Egypt. Archaeologists crack open the tomb of a pharaoh, untouched for millennia. Inside, along with jewels, carvings and sacred objects, they find clay pots sealed with wax. When opened, what do they discover? A golden substance, still edible after more than 3,000 years. Yes, you guessed it. That golden substance was honey. The Egyptians didn't just eat it. They used it in medicine, embalming, and even offerings to their gods. It was considered so precious that workers who built the pyramids were often paid partly with this sweet liquid. Imagine being given honey as part of your salary today. That's how valuable it was. Now, let's turn to Scripture. Throughout the Old and New Testaments, honey isn't just mentioned casually. It's a symbol of blessing, prosperity, and health. When God described the Promised Land to Moses and the Israelites, he called it a land flowing with milk and honey. That phrase wasn't chosen by accident. Honey in the ancient world represented both sweetness and sustenance. In Proverbs we read, "Eat honey, my son, for it is good. Honey from the comb is sweet to your taste." Proverbs 24:13, linking physical pleasure with wisdom itself. And in the story of John the Baptist, his wilderness diet consisted of locusts and wild honey. Imagine surviving off nature's most nutrient-dense foods, finding energy in one of the few natural sugars available in the wild. It's no coincidence that honey was woven into sacred texts. It wasn't just food, it was seen as medicine for the body and nourishment for the soul. But it wasn't just the Hebrews or Egyptians. This golden nectar shows up across civilizations. In ancient Greece, Hippocrates, the father of modern medicine, prescribed it for wounds, digestive issues, and sore throats. In Rome, soldiers applied it to wounds after battle, believing it sped healing. In India, Ayurvedic texts called it madhu and taught that it could balance the body's energies, strengthen immunity, and purify the system. Native American tribes used it not only as food, but as part of spiritual rituals and healing practices. What does this tell us? Wherever people lived across continents, climates, and religions, they all seemed to agree. Honey wasn't just a sweetener, it was medicine. Now let's bridge to the USA. Did you know that honeybees aren't even native to North America? They were brought here by European settlers in the 1600s. Native Americans called them the white man's fly, but once bees were introduced, honey spread quickly across the colonies. Early American settlers used it for baking, healing salves, and cough syrups. George Washington and Thomas Jefferson both kept beehives on their farms, and even today, in small towns across the Midwest and the South, families still treasure raw, local honey, not just as food, but as a kind of homemade medicine. So what does this tell us? Whether it's a pharaoh in Egypt, a prophet in the Bible, or a grandparent in rural America, this golden nectar has been valued as both a blessing and a healer. And here's the fascinating part. Science is now proving much of what ancient people believed instinctively. The Egyptians may not have known about antioxidants, enzymes, or antibacterial compounds, but they saw its effects on wounds. The Hebrews may not have measured vitamins, but they knew it strengthened and nourished. Which begs the question, if something has been treasured for thousands of years across cultures and religions, and is now being validated by modern laboratories, what else might this sweet liquid be capable of? In the next section, we'll dive into exactly that, the nutritional science of this golden food. What's really inside? And why does it work the way it does? The answer may surprise you. So far, we've explored how this golden nectar was treasured in ancient cultures, from Egyptian tombs to biblical promises. But now, let's put on our modern glasses and ask, what's actually inside it? Because when you hold a spoonful of honey, you're not just holding sugar, you're holding a complex, nutrient-rich mixture that modern science is still learning about. Let's start with the basics. Honey is about 80% natural sugars. But don't let that number fool you. It is not the same as pouring white table sugar into your coffee. Here's the difference. The main sugars are fructose and glucose, which are absorbed differently in the body. Glucose gives you quick energy, while fructose provides a slower release, helping to sustain it. Unlike refined sugar, honey also contains enzymes, minerals, antioxidants, and bioactive compounds that change how your body responds to it. This means that while a candy bar gives you a blood sugar spike and crash, honey offers a gentler rise in energy and added nutrients your body can actually use. Now here's where it gets interesting. Honey isn't just sweet, it's packed with micronutrients in trace but powerful amounts. Depending on the variety, you can find vitamin C supporting your immune system. B vitamins like riboflavin, niacin, and pantothenic acid, helping with energy production. Calcium, magnesium, and potassium, essential for bone health and muscle function. Zinc and selenium, supporting immunity and reducing inflammation. It may not replace your multivitamin, but spoonful by spoonful, these minerals add up, especially if you use raw, unfiltered varieties. Here's the real magic. Honey is loaded with antioxidants. These are compounds that fight free radicals, unstable molecules that contribute to aging, inflammation, and chronic disease. Studies show that darker varieties, like buckwheat honey, have antioxidant levels comparable to some fruits and vegetables. That means when you drizzle that deep amber honey into your tea, you're not just sweetening it, you're giving your body a shield against oxidative stress. Honey also contains natural enzymes, tiny proteins that spark reactions in your body. One of them, called glucose oxidase, helps create hydrogen peroxide inside honey. This is why it has antibacterial properties so powerful that hospitals use medical-grade honey for wound healing. Other compounds like flavonoids and phenolic acids contribute to heart health, anti-inflammatory effects, and even support brain function. Now let's be practical. 1 tablespoon of honey has about 64 calories. That's more than a tablespoon of white sugar. But here's the kicker. Because honey is sweeter, most people use less of it than sugar. And because of its added enzymes and nutrients, your body processes it differently. It's like comparing a fast food meal to a home-cooked dinner. Both give you calories, but one fuels your body better. Here's why this matters for Americans today. Over 37 million Americans have diabetes, and sugar consumption is a huge part of the issue. While honey isn't a free pass for diabetics, it may be a smarter sweetener option in moderation. Seniors often struggle with energy dips and nutrient absorption. A teaspoon of honey in the morning can provide a quick, natural lift without the crash. For adults trying to cut back on processed sugar, swapping it for raw honey in tea, oatmeal, or even salad dressings can make a big difference over time. So, what's inside this golden nectar? Natural sugars that fuel the body more gently than refined sugar, trace vitamins and minerals that support overall health, antioxidants that fight aging and disease, enzymes and compounds that give it antibacterial and healing powers. It's not just a sweetener, it's functional food, nature's version of medicine wrapped in sweetness. Now that we know what's inside, the next question is, what can it actually do for us? Coming up next, we'll explore the proven health benefits, from soothing sore throats to protecting the heart, and yes, even healing wounds in ways that modern science is still amazed by. All right, so we've cracked open the jar and peeked at what's inside: sugars, antioxidants, enzymes, and minerals. But now comes the exciting part. What does all this actually do in the human body? Because for something that looks so simple, honey carries a surprising range of healing powers, many of which are now being confirmed by modern science. Let's break it down, benefit by benefit. Undasheetin natural energy booster. Let's start with something we can all relate to. Energy. You know those mid-morning slumps or the 3 p.m. crash? Instead of grabbing an energy drink or a candy bar, a spoonful of honey can give you a clean, natural lift. Here's why. The glucose in honey is absorbed quickly, giving you instant energy. The fructose is absorbed more slowly, sustaining that energy over time. That's why athletes, especially marathon runners, often use honey packets during long races. In fact, studies show honey performs just as well as sports gels for endurance. For seniors, this means an easy, natural way to maintain stamina without relying on caffeine or processed snacks. 2. Soothing sore throats and coughs. This one's probably the most famous. When you were a kid and had a sore throat, what did Grandma give you? A spoonful of honey. And guess what? She was right. Modern studies show that honey coats the throat, reducing irritation, and it has mild antibacterial properties that help fight infection. The World Health Organization even recommends it as a natural cough remedy. One study compared honey to over-the-counter cough syrups in children, and honey worked better at reducing nighttime coughing. Parents in the USA, take note, sometimes the old-fashioned remedies really are best. 3. Wound healing and burns. Now, this one might surprise you. Hospitals today still use medical-grade honey to treat wounds and burns. Why? Because honey creates a protective barrier, draws out moisture, and contains natural hydrogen peroxide, which kills bacteria. In fact, Manuka honey from New Zealand is FDA approved for wound dressings here in the US. Doctors apply it to ulcers, surgical wounds, and even diabetic foot sores. Think about that. The same thing you drizzle on your toast is being used in cutting-edge medicine to save limbs and lives. 4. Digestive health. Honey has been shown to improve digestion in several ways. It contains prebiotics, which feed the good bacteria in your gut. It helps soothe acid reflux by coating the lining of the esophagus. It can reduce diarrhea in certain cases thanks to its antimicrobial effects. For seniors dealing with digestive discomfort, a teaspoon of honey in warm water may be gentler and more effective than harsh medications. 5. Heart health. Here's where the antioxidants really shine. Research shows that regular honey consumption can lower blood pressure slightly, improve cholesterol levels by reducing bad LDL cholesterol and raising good HDL cholesterol, reduce triglycerides, which are linked to heart disease. Considering that heart disease is the #1 killer in America, this is big. Imagine replacing refined sugar with honey and not only cutting empty calories, but actively protecting your heart. 6. Brain and mental health. This one is especially exciting. Antioxidants in honey, particularly flavonoids, help reduce oxidative stress in the brain. That may protect against age-related cognitive decline, Alzheimer's, and memory issues. Some studies even suggest honey helps reduce anxiety and improve sleep, thanks to its ability to regulate serotonin and melatonin. Picture this. Instead of taking a sleeping pill, sipping warm milk with honey before bed might naturally help you drift off, a simple ritual with profound effects. 7. Immunity booster. Honey also has natural antibacterial and antiviral properties. While it's not a cure for illness, regular use can strengthen your immune system. That's why so many people mix it with ginger, lemon, and hot tea during flu season. For seniors especially, a strong immune system is key to maintaining independence and avoiding hospital visits. Honey isn't a magic bullet, but it's a powerful ally. Quick recap. So, let's sum up the science-backed benefits. Boosts energy naturally, soothes sore throats and coughs, heals wounds and burns, supports digestion and gut health, protects the heart, nourishes the brain, strengthens immunity. That's a lot of power packed into a spoonful of sweetness. So far, we've uncovered how this golden nectar works inside the body, boosting energy, healing wounds, and protecting the heart. But now comes the part that matters most. How can you actually use it day to day in ways that fit your lifestyle? Because this isn't just about theory. This is about putting ancient wisdom and modern science into action in your kitchen, your medicine cabinet, even your skincare routine. 1. In the kitchen, food and drink. The simplest use is, of course, eating it. But let's go beyond drizzling it on toast. Morning boost. Stir a teaspoon into warm lemon water when you first wake up. It hydrates, energizes, and gently wakes up your digestion. Tea time. Swap out sugar for honey in your tea or coffee. It's a natural sweetener with added antioxidants. Breakfast upgrade. Add it to oatmeal, yogurt, or smoothies. Paired with fiber and protein, it balances energy release. Salad dressing. Whisk it with olive oil, mustard, and apple cider vinegar for a tangy, heart-healthy vinaigrette. Baking swap. Replace white sugar with honey in baked goods. It not only sweetens but adds moisture and flavor. For many Americans trying to cut back on refined sugar, this is one of the easiest, tastiest upgrades you can make. 2. Traditional home remedies. This is where honey really shines. Passed down through generations, these simple remedies still hold up today. In cough syrup, mix honey with lemon juice and warm water. For centuries, parents have given this to kids at bedtime to ease coughs. Sore throat relief, a spoonful straight up, slowly coating the throat, is surprisingly soothing. Digestive comfort, mix it with ginger tea to calm nausea, bloating, or indigestion. Seasonal allergies. Some believe local raw honey may help reduce allergy symptoms by gently exposing the body to local pollen. While research is mixed, many people swear by it. 3. Skincare and beauty. Here is something most people don't realize. Honey isn't tea just for eating. It is a natural beauty treatment. Face mask. Apply raw honey directly to the skin. Leave it on for 15 minutes. Its antibacterial properties help with acne, and its humectant nature keeps skin hydrated. Lip balm. Dab a tiny amount on chapped lips before bed. Scalp treatment. Mix with warm water and massage into the scalp to reduce dandruff and dryness. Big cosmetic brands now add honey to creams and shampoos, but you don't need fancy packaging. Raw honey itself is powerful. 4. First aid at home. Even though medical-grade honey is used in hospitals, you can still use regular raw honey at home for minor issues. Small burns. Apply a thin layer to soothe pain and prevent infection. Minor cuts. Use it like a natural ointment to keep wounds moist and clean. Of course, always seek medical attention for serious injuries, but for small scrapes and burns, honey can be a safe, natural option. 5. Around the house. Believe it or not, honey has a few surprising household uses too. Natural preservative. It's one of the few foods that never spoils. Archaeologists literally found edible honey in Egyptian tombs. Food storage. You can use it in marinades to help preserve meats or sauces. Homemade cough drops. With honey, lemon and ginger, you can make your own soothing drops at home. Quick recap. So what did we learn here? Honey isn't just food, it's a sweetener upgrade, a natural remedy for common ailments, a skincare and beauty tool, a first aid helper, even a household hack. This is why it's been treasured for thousands of years. It's not just versatile, it's transformational. But here's the key. While honey has countless uses, not every way of using it is safe or effective, and in some cases, too much of a good thing can actually become harmful. So up next, we're going to break down the right way to use honey. How much, when, and in what forms to maximize its healing power without crossing into risky territory. Now here's the truth. We know honey is powerful. We've seen its history, its nutrients, and its health benefits. But the big question remains, how do you use it correctly? Because let's be honest, if one spoonful is good, many of us are tempted to think, well, 5 must be better. But nature doesn't always work that way. In fact, too much of this golden sweetness can actually turn it into the very thing we're trying to avoid. So let's talk about dosage, timing, and the best combinations to truly unlock its healing properties. 1. How much is enough? For most healthy adults, the sweet spot is about 1 to 2 tablespoons per day. That's enough to get the benefits like antioxidants, enzymes, and natural energy without overloading your system with sugar. For seniors looking for a natural energy boost, 1 teaspoon in the morning and 1 in the evening is usually ideal. Athletes or very active adults may go up to 3 tablespoons a day, spread throughout. But here's the key. It should replace other sweeteners, not add on top of them. Don't keep drinking sodas, eating candy, and then think honey is your health pass. Swap it in place of refined sugar. 2. Best time to take it. Timing matters. Here's what science and tradition suggest. Morning on empty stomach. A teaspoon in warm water helps wake up digestion, boost metabolism, and gently fuel your body. Before exercise. Honey is a fantastic pre-workout fuel, giving quick energy without the crash. Before bed, a small spoonful may help release serotonin, which the body converts to melatonin, helping you sleep better. During cough or illness, take it as needed for soothing relief, especially before bedtime to reduce coughing. So think of honey like a daily rhythm. Start your day with it, or end your day with it, depending on your needs. 3. The best forms of honey. Not all honey is created equal. Walk into any grocery store in America and you'll see dozens of golden bottles, but many are highly processed, filtered, and even mixed with corn syrup. Here's what you want: raw, unfiltered honey, straight from the hive, with pollen and enzymes intact. Local honey, produced near you, which may even help with seasonal allergies. Darker honey varieties like buckwheat, higher in antioxidants. Manuka honey, especially potent for antibacterial and wound-healing uses. Rule of thumb: the less processed, the better. 4. Combinations that amplify the benefits. Sometimes honey is powerful on its own, but pairing it with other natural ingredients can supercharge its effects. Honey plus lemon plus warm water. Classic remedy for digestion, hydration, and sore throats. Honey plus ginger, perfect for nausea, colds, and boosting immunity. Honey plus cinnamon. Some studies suggest this combo may support heart health and blood sugar control. Honey plus milk, warm, calming at night, helps with sleep. Honey plus turmeric, anti-inflammatory powerhouse for joints and immunity. It's almost like nature designed honey to be a perfect partner. It blends seamlessly with healing herbs and spices. 5. Storage and handling. A quick but important note: honey should be stored in a sealed jar at room temperature. Don't refrigerate it, it'll crystallize faster. And if it does crystallize, don't throw it out. Just place the jar in warm water and it'll return to liquid gold. Quick recap. So the right way boils down to this: stick to 1 to 2 tablespoons per day. Use it to replace, not add to, other sugars. Take it at smart times: morning, pre-workout, bedtime. Choose raw, local, or dark varieties for maximum nutrients. Combine it with lemon, ginger, cinnamon, or turmeric to multiply benefits. Done right, honey is more than sweet, it's medicine. But here's the part many people miss. While honey can heal, it also has hidden risks and side effects. For certain people, especially seniors, pregnant women, and those with specific health conditions, it can actually do harm. And that's exactly where we're headed next: the dangers of misuse and who should avoid honey altogether. We've celebrated the wonders of honey, its nutrients, its healing properties, its place in both science and scripture. But here's the reality: even the most natural remedy has limits. And if you've ever heard the phrase, "too much of a good thing can be bad," well, that applies here too. So let's talk about the risks, side effects, and who should be cautious before diving headfirst into a daily honey habit. 1. The sugar factor. Yes, honey is natural. Yes, it's healthier than white sugar. But here's the truth: it's still sugar. 1 tablespoon has about 17 grams of sugar and roughly 60 calories. For healthy adults, that may not sound like a lot. But for seniors managing diabetes, prediabetes, or metabolic syndrome, that amount can add up quickly. Too much honey can cause blood sugar spikes. Over time, it may contribute to weight gain and strain the heart. If someone is already struggling with insulin resistance, honey isn't a free pass. So while it's better than soda or candy, it still needs moderation. 2. Infants under 1 year old. This is perhaps the most well-known risk. Never give honey to babies under 12 months. Why? Because honey can contain spores of Clostridium botulinum. Adults and older kids have strong digestive systems that neutralize it, but infants don't. That means honey can lead to infant botulism, a rare but potentially fatal illness. So if you're a grandparent listening right now, and you're tempted to dip a pacifier in honey, or add a spoonful to a baby AST, please don't. 3. Allergies and sensitivities. Some people are allergic to pollen, bee proteins, or other compounds in raw honey. For them, even a teaspoon can trigger itching or swelling in the mouth, runny nose, watery eyes, in rare cases, more severe allergic reactions. Most people do just fine, but if you've got a strong pollen allergy, start small or consult your doctor before making it a daily ritual. 4. Gastrointestinal issues. For some, honey can be a bit harsh on digestion. It contains fructose, which in excess can cause bloating, cramps, or diarrhea, especially in people with IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, or fructose intolerance. That's why doctors often recommend a low FODMAP diet for sensitive guts, and unfortunately, honey is high in FODMAPs. So if you're someone who struggles with stomach sensitivity, honey may not be your best everyday sweetener. 5. Tooth health. We can't forget this one. Honey is sticky, and sticky sugars cling to teeth, feeding bacteria and increasing the risk of cavities. For seniors who may already have weakened enamel or dry mouth from medications, honey could accelerate dental problems if good oral hygiene isn't in place. The solution? Enjoy it, but always rinse your mouth or brush afterward. 6. Interaction with certain conditions. There are a few more special considerations. Diabetics. Honey can fit in carefully but always under guidance. Pregnant women. Honey is generally safe, but if there's gestational diabetes, it should be monitored closely. Seniors with compromised immune systems, raw honey, while beneficial, may pose a higher risk of infection in rare cases. Quick recap. Let's wrap this up with a short checklist. Honey should be avoided or used with extreme caution by babies under 1 year old, risk of botulism. People with severe pollen allergies, risk of allergic reactions. Those with IBS or fructose intolerance may worsen symptoms. Anyone with diabetes or weight struggles should strictly limit intake. Seniors with fragile teeth, honey's stickiness can fuel cavities. Now here's the important part. For the majority of adults, honey is safe, healing, and deeply beneficial when used correctly. But being informed means you can enjoy its sweetness without falling into hidden traps. So far, we've seen what honey can do and who should be cautious. But how does it stack up against other sweeteners and natural remedies? Is it truly superior? Or are there rivals that give it a run for its money? That's where we're heading next. A comparison between honey and its alternatives. If you've ever strolled down the sweetener aisle of a grocery store, you know the choices are overwhelming. White sugar, brown sugar, agave, maple syrup, artificial sweeteners, stevia. It feels like a sugar jungle. So where does honey really stand among all these options? Is it truly the golden champion, or is that just clever marketing? Let's break it down. 1. Honey versus white sugar. This is the classic matchup. White sugar is pure sucrose, stripped of nutrients. It's quick energy, but that's about it. No vitamins, no minerals, no antioxidants. Honey, on the other hand, is a complex mix of glucose, fructose, trace enzymes, minerals, and antioxidants. What does that mean? Honey not only sweetens your tea, but also contributes small amounts of health-promoting compounds. But calories-wise, honey actually has slightly more than sugar. So while it's a better choice nutritionally, portion control still matters. 2. Honey versus artificial sweeteners. Think about Splendor, Equal, or aspartame packets you find in diners across America. They're calorie-free. They don't spike blood sugar the way sugar does, but modern science has raised concerns. Studies suggest artificial sweeteners may alter gut bacteria, affect metabolism, and even increase sugar cravings in the long run. Honey doesn't come with those risks. It's natural, time-tested, and gut-friendly when used in moderation. 3. Honey versus maple syrup. Maple syrup, the pride of the Northeast. Like honey, it's natural, and it contains minerals like manganese and zinc. But honey edges ahead with its antimicrobial properties and wider antioxidant range. Plus, bees add unique enzymes that give honey extra health benefits. Both are great in moderation, but honey carries that bonus of medicinal power. 4. Honey versus agave. Nectar agave has been marketed as the healthy sweetener, but here's the catch. It's extremely high in fructose, up to 85%. Fructose in excess is tough on the liver, linked to fatty liver disease, and can raise triglycerides. Honey has a more balanced sugar profile and brings along antioxidants that agave can't match. 5. Honey versus stevia. Now, stevia is an interesting one. It's plant-based, calorie-free, and doesn't raise blood sugar, making it a favorite for diabetics. But many people dislike its bitter aftertaste. And while it's safe, it doesn't provide nutrients or medicinal properties like honey does. So while stevia is better for strict calorie control, honey is more nourishing overall. 6. Honey versus manuka. Honey. Yes, even within the honey family, there are differences. Manuka honey from New Zealand is famous for its high antibacterial potency, especially for wound healing. It's often more expensive, but regular raw honey from local farms in the USA still carries impressive benefits. The key? Always choose minimally processed varieties. 7. Honey versus no sweetener at all. No, this may sound odd, but it's worth saying sometimes the healthiest option is to skip sweeteners altogether. Our American diet is already overloaded with sugar. So while honey is better than refined sugar or artificial substitutes, reducing sweetener use altogether is still the gold standard for long-term health. Quick recap. Honey beats white sugar for nutrition and antioxidants. Honey is safer than artificial sweeteners for gut health. Honey edges out maple syrup and agave for medicinal power. Stevia wins for 0 calories, but honey wins for nutrients. Manuka is a premium version, but local raw honey is still a winner. No sweetener at all. Always the healthiest option. So when you stir something sweet into your morning oatmeal or drizzle something over yogurt, honey really does hold its ground as one of the most wholesome options. But here's the deeper question. Beyond sweetening food, what role can honey play in a long, healthy life? What does science say about using it daily for prevention, longevity, and modern wellness in America? That's where we're heading next. Honey's role in long-term health and disease prevention. We've compared it with sugar, syrups, and sweeteners. Now let us widen the lens and ask, how does this ancient food protect us in the long run? Because here's the truth, nutrition isn't just about what tastes good today, it's about building a body that thrives for years to come. And honey, when used wisely, has an incredible role in prevention and longevity. 1. Supporting heart health. In the United States, heart disease remains the #1 killer, but science shows honey can help. The antioxidants, like flavonoids and phenolic acids, are linked to lower blood pressure. Small daily doses may improve cholesterol balance by raising HDL, the good kind, and lowering LDL, the bad kind. Its natural sugars give a gentler rise in blood glucose compared to refined sugar, easing the load on your cardiovascular system. Imagine trading 1 can of soda a day for a glass of water lightly sweetened with honey and lemon. That single choice could be a heart saver. 2. Immune defense over time. We live in a world full of stress, pollution, and seasonal colds. Over the years, your immune system can weaken. Honey acts like a natural armor. It has antibacterial properties that help fight off common infections. The antioxidants neutralize free radicals, reducing cellular damage that contributes to aging. Some studies even suggest honey helps shorten the duration of colds and soothe coughs. It's no wonder many American families keep a jar in the pantry during flu season. 3. Weight management and energy balance. Here's a surprising twist. Despite being sweet, honey may actually help with weight control when used in moderation. Unlike white sugar, honey's natural enzymes slow digestion a bit, meaning fewer wild energy crashes. It provides a quick fuel source for seniors who may struggle with fatigue, without overwhelming the body. When paired with warm water, it can help improve satiety, making you feel full sooner. Think of it as a smarter fuel, still energy, but one that plays nicer with your metabolism. 4. Gut health for the long haul. Your gut health impacts everything: immunity, mood, even memory. Honey contains prebiotic compounds that feed beneficial gut bacteria. For seniors, especially those on medications that disrupt gut flora, this can be a game changer. A healthy gut means better nutrient absorption, steadier digestion, and less inflammation. 5. Brain protection and aging. This is where it gets fascinating. Early research suggests honey's antioxidants may help protect against oxidative stress in the brain, a factor linked to Alzheimer's and cognitive decline. Some studies show honey can improve memory and reduce anxiety in older adults. For seniors hoping to stay sharp enough to read stories to their grandkids or keep up with crossword puzzles, this is a quiet but powerful ally. 6. Anti-inflammatory shield. Inflammation is the silent fire behind arthritis, diabetes, heart disease, and even cancer. The compounds in honey act as a natural anti-inflammatory agent. For someone struggling with stiff joints or chronic aches, adding a teaspoon into daily tea might not erase the pain, but it could gently reduce the underlying inflammation over time. Quick recap. Honey, in the big picture of prevention, may support heart health by balancing cholesterol and blood pressure, strengthen immune defense with antioxidants, help with weight management and energy levels, protect the gut microbiome with prebiotics, boost brain health and memory in aging, act as a natural anti-inflammatory. So the real magic isn't just in using honey when you're sick. It's in weaving it into your life as a small, daily act of wellness, like a thread that connects generations from biblical times to today's breakfast tables in American homes. But words alone aren't enough. To really understand its power, we need stories, real people, real lives. So next, we'll hear real-life examples of seniors in the USA who have regained vitality and resilience by using honey wisely. We've talked science, history, and prevention, but let's be honest, what really inspires us isn't just data, it's stories. So let us step into the homes and lives of ordinary Americans who've found extraordinary benefits from adding this golden food into their routines. 1. Margaret's story, immune boost in retirement. Margaret is 72, living in North Carolina. After retiring, she found herself catching colds constantly. She thought it was just aging, but a friend suggested something simple. Start each morning with warm water, lemon, and a teaspoon of raw honey. Within months, Margaret noticed she wasn't getting sick as often. Her seasonal allergies eased, and she felt more energy to join her church choir again. She laughs now, saying, "It feels like I finally gave my immune system a little coat of armor." 2. James's journey, reclaiming energy. James, 68, from Texas, used to be a long-distance truck driver. Years of sitting left him sluggish and overweight. He wanted to cut back on soda, but still craved sweetness. His granddaughter suggested honey and tea instead of sugary drinks. Not only did he lose nearly 20 pounds over a year, but he said the steady energy helped him finally keep up with his grandkids at the park. For James, swapping soda for honey water wasn't just about weight, it gave him his family life back. 3. Linda's experience, healing through wounds. Linda, a 75-year-old in Ohio, had surgery on her knee and struggled with slow healing. Her doctor mentioned medical-grade honey dressings. She was skeptical, but tried it. To her surprise, her wound healed faster than expected, with less scarring. Linda now tells everyone, never underestimate what nature and bees can do. 4. A community example. Beekeepers in Vermont. In Vermont, there is a small group of senior beekeepers who not only raise bees but also consume their honey daily. Many of them in their late 70s and early 80s credit it for their vitality. They use it in tea, on toast, even in homemade cough syrups. One member, 81 years old, said, "I may move slower than I used to, but my mind and immune system are strong. I think the bees take care of me as much as I take care of them." 5. Everyday Americans, everyday benefits. From Florida retirees adding honey to oatmeal to California seniors using it in skincare masks, the stories share a common theme: small daily rituals making big differences. No one is saying honey is a miracle cure, but these real lives remind us. It's the simple habits, repeated over time, that shape the way we age. Quick recap. Margaret boosted immunity with a morning honey drink. James swapped soda for tea and reclaimed his energy. Linda healed faster with honey-based dressings. Vermont seniors found longevity through beekeeping and daily honey use. These aren't celebrities, doctors, or scientists. These are grandparents, neighbors, and community members. Ordinary people who turned to something ancient and found healing in the present. But let's take this one step further. Beyond real stories, how do we create a daily routine around honey that balances benefits while avoiding risks? That's where we head next. Practical guidance on incorporating honey into modern American life. Now that we've explored honey's science, history, and even real-life stories, let's bring it home. How do you actually use it? Because this isn't about random spoonfuls or trendy fads. It's about building a smart, sustainable habit that supports your health. 1. The right dosage. Here's the golden rule. For most healthy adults, 1-2 tablespoons per day is plenty. Seniors or those managing blood sugar should stick closer to 1 tablespoon daily. Remember, it's better to enjoy a little consistently than overload and spike your system. 2. The best timing. Honey can be powerful depending on when you use it. Morning. A teaspoon in warm water or tea kickstarts digestion and hydrates after sleep. Midday. A drizzle over Greek yogurt or fruit gives steady energy without a crash. Evening. A teaspoon before bed may promote relaxation and better sleep, thanks to its natural release of melatonin precursors. Many seniors find honey at night helps calm late-night restlessness. 3. Best forms to use. Not all honey is created equal. Here's what to look for. Raw honey, unprocessed, straight from the hive, best for nutrition. Local honey may help with seasonal allergies. Manuka honey, especially effective for wound healing or immune support, though more expensive. Avoid highly processed commercial honey blends. They often contain added sugars and fewer nutrients. 4. Simple combinations for health. Honey isn't just sweet, it's a partner. Here are some classic pairings. Honey plus lemon in warm water, great for detox, digestion, and immune support. Honey plus cinnamon may help with blood sugar balance and heart health. Honey plus ginger tea, perfect for colds, sore throats, and nausea. Honey plus milk, a bedtime remedy for better sleep. Honey plus apple cider vinegar, popular in the USA for digestion and weight management. Each of these blends has been used for generations, and modern science often backs their benefits. 5. Skincare and topical uses. Honey isn't just for eating. Seniors especially can benefit from topical use. Face mask. A thin layer hydrates and soothes dry skin. Wound dressing. For minor cuts and scrapes, raw honey helps healing. Lip balm. A dab keeps lips soft, especially in winter. Remember, always patch test first if you have sensitive skin. 6. How to build it into daily life. Let's paint a picture. Breakfast. Swap jam on toast for raw honey. Mid-morning, stir it into oatmeal or plain yogurt. Afternoon, use it as a natural sweetener in tea. Evening, add a teaspoon into warm milk before bed. This way, it is not a supplement you force yourself to take. It is woven naturally into meals you already enjoy. 7. What to avoid. Don't mix honey into boiling hot water. Heat destroys enzymes and antioxidants. Always wait until your tea or water is warm, not scalding. Don't combine with too many other sweeteners. Balance is key. Don't give it to children under 1-year-old. Quick recap. To use honey effectively, limit to 1-2 tablespoons daily. Time it strategically. Morning for digestion, night for sleep. Choose raw or local varieties. Pair it with lemon, cinnamon, ginger, or milk for extra benefits. Use it both inside and outside as food and natural skin care. See, the goal isn't to turn honey into a miracle pill. It's to use it wisely, consistently, in ways that fit a modern American lifestyle. But here's the catch. Even with the right dosage and timing, safety always comes first. Which brings us to something every health-conscious senior should know: guidelines, precautions, and who should avoid honey altogether. Honey is natural, honey is powerful, but honey is not for everyone, and it's not without limits. If we want to enjoy its sweetness without risk, we need to understand the safety rules. 1. The golden rule for infants. Let's start with the most urgent one. Never give honey to children under 12 months old. It's not about sugar, it's about safety. Honey can carry spores of Clostridium botulinum. In adults, no problem. In babies, it can cause infant botulism, a rare but potentially deadly illness. Grandparents, if you're listening, remember this when feeding or babysitting little ones. No honey for infants, period. 2. Seniors with diabetes or pre-diabetes. For older adults managing blood sugar, honey may seem like a healthier sweetener, and it is, in moderation. But remember, it still raises glucose levels. Stick to small amounts, no more than 1 teaspoon at a time. Pair honey with fiber-rich foods like oatmeal or whole grains to slow absorption. Always monitor your blood sugar response. 3. Allergies and pollen sensitivities. Some people are sensitive to pollen proteins in raw honey. Symptoms can range from mild itching to more severe allergic reactions. If you've got strong seasonal allergies, start small. And if you've ever had a serious reaction to bee products, skip honey altogether. 4. Digestive sensitivities, IBS and fructose intolerance. Honey is high in fructose. For most people, no issue, but for seniors with IBS or fructose malabsorption, it may trigger bloating, cramping, loose stools. In that case, it's best to limit or avoid honey and choose alternatives like maple syrup or stevia. 5. Dental concerns. Honey is sticky. It clings to teeth longer than table sugar. Seniors with fragile enamel, dentures, or dry mouth from medications should be especially careful. Always rinse or brush after enjoying honey. 6. Compromised immune systems. Raw honey carries powerful benefits, but it also carries microbes. For seniors undergoing chemotherapy, those with HIV, or anyone on immune-suppressing drugs, it may be safer to stick with pasteurized honey or consult a doctor before using raw varieties. 7. Medication interactions. While rare, honey can interact with blood sugar medications. It may reduce their effectiveness if taken in excess. Blood pressure meds. Antioxidants may enhance their effects, so monitor closely. Always check with your healthcare provider if you're on long-term prescriptions. Practical safety checklist. Let's make this simple. Safe for most healthy adults and seniors, not safe for babies under 1 year. Caution for diabetics, allergy sufferers, IBS patients, and those with weak immune systems. Always maintain oral hygiene after use. Check with your doctor if on medication. When used wisely, honey is an incredible ally. But wisdom means knowing your limits, listening to your body, and using it as nature intended, in balance. Now that we know who should be careful, let's zoom out. What does this balance look like compared to modern options like supplements, expensive treatments, or even over-the-counter drugs? That's where we go next. Honey as a natural alternative versus modern remedies. Let's face it, modern medicine has given us incredible tools: antibiotics, pain relievers, cough syrups, topical ointments. But here's the big question. Where does honey fit into all this? Is it just a sweet add-on, or can it actually stand shoulder to shoulder with today's remedies? 1. Honey versus over-the-counter cough syrups. If you've ever battled a stubborn nighttime cough, you probably know the drill. Grab a bottle of syrup from the pharmacy. But here's the truth. Studies show honey may be just as effective, if not more, than dextromethorphan, the common active ingredient in cough medicines. Honey coats the throat, soothes irritation, and calms coughing fits. Unlike many syrups, it doesn't leave you groggy or cause dependency. And for seniors already on multiple medications, honey offers a natural, gentle solution. Parents and grandparents, take note. This one's powerful. 2. Honey versus antibiotic creams for wounds. Walk into any drugstore and you'll see shelves of ointments for cuts and burns. But researchers are rediscovering something ancient. Honey, particularly medical-grade manuka, fights bacteria, sometimes even strains resistant to antibiotics. While neosporin is convenient, honey has the bonus of being antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, and a natural moisturizer. That's why some hospitals in the US now use sterilized honey dressings for chronic wounds. 3. Honey versus energy drinks and sports gels. Athletes often reach for sugar-packed sports gels or chemical-filled energy drinks, but honey, it's nature's performance fuel, provides quick energy from natural sugars, delivers antioxidants to reduce inflammation, avoids the crashes linked to artificial additives. In fact, USA endurance athletes are increasingly swapping out gels for honey packets. 4. Honey versus skincare products. The beauty aisle is loaded with creams claiming to hydrate, brighten, or fight acne. But dermatologists have confirmed honey's natural enzymes act as a gentle exfoliator. Its antibacterial properties help reduce acne. Its humectant effect locks in moisture better than some store-bought moisturizers. And here's the kicker: it costs a fraction of expensive creams. 5. Honey versus artificial sweeteners. In a world dominated by diet sodas, stevia packets, and artificial sweeteners, honey provides something unique: real nutrition. While Splenda and aspartame may cut calories, they don't deliver the enzymes, trace minerals, and antioxidants that honey carries. And many seniors in America are now choosing to swap sugar packets for honey as a way to make their coffee or tea not only sweeter, but healthier. 6. Honey as complementary, not competitive. Now, let's be clear, honey is not a miracle replacement for insulin, chemotherapy, or modern surgeries. But here's the beauty of it. It works alongside modern medicine. It fills the gaps where pharmaceuticals fall short: comfort, long-term wellness, immune support. And it offers a safe, natural option when drugs bring side effects or risks of dependency. Think of it as a bridge between ancient wisdom and modern science. When we think about health in America today, the focus is often on fixing problems after they arise. Pills for high blood pressure, injections for diabetes, surgeries for clogged arteries. But what if we could shift the focus? What if the goal wasn't just treatment, but prevention? This is where honey quietly steps into the spotlight. Not as a miracle cure, but as a small daily habit that could help protect us from the chronic conditions plaguing so many American families. 1. Heart health and longevity. Cardiovascular disease remains the #1 killer in the US. But here's where honey shines. Studies show it may help lower bad LDL cholesterol. It raises antioxidant levels, protecting blood vessels from oxidative stress. Its natural sugars provide energy without the wild spikes and crashes that refined sugar creates. Think about this. Swapping your sugar packet for a spoonful of honey each morning might seem tiny, but over years, it could add up to better heart health and longer vitality. 2. Immune support in aging. As we age, our immune systems naturally weaken. That's why seniors often take longer to recover from illnesses. Honey contains compounds like flavonoids and phenolic acids that strengthen immune defenses. Regular use can mean fewer colds, faster recovery, and a stronger shield against infections. Imagine walking into your golden years with resilience instead of fragility. That's the power of prevention. 3. Blood sugar balance for seniors. Here's a surprising twist. Although honey is sweet, it has a lower glycemic impact than refined sugar. For seniors managing prediabetes, a small daily amount may help control cravings without sending blood sugar soaring. Of course, moderation matters, but when used wisely, honey can become a tool for balance, not a trigger for chaos. 4. Cognitive health and brain protection. Alzheimer's disease and dementia are heartbreaking realities for many American families. Emerging research suggests honey's antioxidants may reduce oxidative stress in the brain, supporting memory and slowing cognitive decline. Picture this, a grandmother not only enjoying her honey-sweetened tea, but also protecting her brain for more years of storytelling with her grandkids. 5. Longevity in blue zones. Across the world, the longest living communities, called blue zones, share a common theme: natural, minimally processed diets. Honey often plays a role, not as candy, but as medicine and nourishment. What if we in America reclaimed that wisdom, not chasing fad diets, but weaving simple whole foods like honey into daily life? 6. A daily ritual for prevention. It doesn't have to be complicated. A teaspoon of honey and warm lemon water each morning. A drizzle over oatmeal instead of processed sugar. A soothing spoonful at night to calm the throat and mind. Small steps, repeated consistently, can yield the kind of health that lasts a lifetime. At the end of the day, prevention isn't about grand gestures. It's about choosing habits today that your future self will thank you for. Honey isn't the whole answer, but as part of a balanced lifestyle, good nutrition, regular activity, family connections, and faith, it can be a quiet ally in living longer, healthier, and stronger. But we're not done yet. We've explored honey's history, science, healing power, and prevention role. Now let us wrap it all together in a powerful conclusion, a final cinematic reflection on this golden gift and why it still matters in the modern American story. From ancient scrolls to modern labs, from the hills of Israel to the kitchens of small-town America, this golden nectar has carried stories of healing, nourishment, and faith for thousands of years. We've seen it mentioned in the Bible as a symbol of abundance. We've watched modern science confirm its antibacterial, antioxidant, and soothing powers. We've heard the voices of grandparents, veterans, athletes, and busy parents whose lives were touched by something as simple as a spoonful of sweetness. And maybe now you're asking yourself, what does this mean for me? It means this. In a world chasing quick fixes, sometimes the oldest remedies are still the best companions. Not as a replacement for doctors or modern medicine, but as a partner. Something natural, nourishing, and deeply human that connects us across generations. Honey isn't just food. It's not just medicine. It's a reminder. A reminder that prevention can be sweet. That health doesn't always come from a bottle at the pharmacy. That God's creation still holds mysteries and gifts we're only beginning to rediscover. And maybe most importantly, it's a reminder that caring for our health doesn't have to feel complicated. It can start with something as small as stirring a spoonful into your tea. Imagine yourself years from now, stronger, healthier, and still enjoying life's simple joys. Imagine your kids and grandkids seeing you not just surviving, but thriving. What if part of that story begins with one choice, one daily ritual, one small act of self-care? That's the power of honey, a gift from nature, a blessing mentioned in scripture, a healing treasure rediscovered by modern science. And maybe, just maybe, it's the missing piece in your own wellness journey. If this journey inspired you, don't keep it to yourself. Share this video with a friend or family member who could use a little natural healing in their life. And if you want more in-depth health documentaries, guides that blend science, history, and everyday wisdom, make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell, and join this community. Because together, we're not just learning about health, we're reclaiming it.